Hello, welcome to the Wheel of Engagement podcast. Coming from Unity, Campaign for Change and Achieve Together. Welcome. The theme this time around is mental wellbeing. Very timely as we are focused on Mental Health Awareness Week, the 15th to the 21st of May. And the theme is anxiety, and we'll be talking a bit about anxiety during the course of the conversation. So we're going to be talking about mental wellbeing, and here today we have
Lisa. I'm Lisa, and I support Achieve Together.
My name is Julian, and I support Platform and Change and Unity.
Lovely.
Hi, I'm Esme, and I support Campaign for Change and C4C.
Hi, I'm Elmi. I'm co-production manager in Achieve Together.
And I'm Michael Thornton, and I'm representing Achieve Together.
I was born Unity.
So we're going to have some conversations around mental health and anxiety, and just someone's quite early, but as part of the session we're going to experience a mindfulness meditation session which is focused on anxiety release, and that's at 1 o'clock, but someone's just joined, so they're a bit early, so just have to leave them lurking. So some people will join us through Zoom, so I need to keep an eye on the watch, but at 1 o'clock we will have a mindfulness meditation session as well as part of the session. But to kick us off, Esme, do you want to choose a question to start us off and start chatting and thinking about mental well-being?
Yes. Okay. This one says, what are your tips for having good mental well-being?
So we're looking for tips to enjoy or benefit from good mental well-being. Do you want to start us off? What's your top tips for good mental well-being?
Good friendship.
Good friendships.
Yeah.
Good shout. Good shout. Anything else?
Good community.
That's quite important.
Yeah. Other ones.
Okay, let's go back to you, Esme, if you want.
Yeah.
Did something just come to your head?
No.
No? Okay, anybody else then? It's important for everybody to have the best possible mental well-being, mental health, which isn't always easy to maintain. It would be great if we all enjoyed good mental health all of the time, but life isn't as straightforward as that. So there are many things that can impact upon our mental health, but what we're looking for, just looking for some top tips of how you can, sort of ensure you have the best possible mental health with whatever's going on in your life. So what do you do, Lisa, to have good mental health?
Well, there's someone that I know worked in a charity shop for mental health, so I support that as well. So
Do you?
and it keeps
Okay.
me happy as well. So
In what way do you support that?
well, it's just supporting with people with mental health, and and working in a charity shop makes them feel really good about themselves, that they're doing something for other people as well who's been through the same situation. So
That's really interesting, because they do say that one of the things you can do to have good mental health is be kind to each other, and if you give to other people, then you feel good about yourself. So it is actually a good way of keeping good mental health. So so that's a good shout.
I think I read somewhere that it actually improves your happiness as well in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Giving.
that I'm helping, that's me working in that charity shop, but it makes me feel happy to help them, and plus I have mental health as well, so it makes me happy that I'm with those guys and I can socialise with them as well.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's important to note, and just what you're saying there, Lisa, is that we all have mental health.
Yeah.
We all have mental health,
Yeah.
and sometimes our mental health is good, and sometimes
It's
a bit of a
bad,
struggle.
A bit of a struggle, yeah.
You know, maybe something's going on in our life that causes
Yeah.
extra stress or worries. And I think a lot of people did struggle during the pandemic and that like social isolation
Oh,
with
yeah.
mental health. And perhaps even
That's
some
a
people
bit.
are still recovering from that as well. And you also have the
Imagine how
additional.
they're going through as well, isn't it? Literally, it depends how they're going through it as well.
Absolutely,
How they're doing it still, and yeah.
And then you got the additional challenge these days of the economy and the cost of living and all of those worries
I mean,
about
that
your
can be
money
depressing.
yeah.
I
So
find it depressing about the costs, and yeah, I just get really fed up with it. To be fair,
fed
I
up.
wish they'd just sort it out once and for all. You know?
But it is a challenge. It's like in terms of this country at the minute, it's one of the biggest worries, and those worries can have a massive impact on people's mental health,
Yeah.
which then leads to like a reduced quality of life.
Yeah.
So top tips from me. So for me to enjoy best possible mental health, there's some things that I do. One is like talking to friends and family. One is to do mindfulness. So we'll be doing for a mindfulness session in a minute, and exercise. So actually at the minute I've damaged my back, so I've had reduced physical exercise. So that's
Okay.
had an impact on my mental well-being at the
Me
minute.
too with my knees. So I mean, it's a bit.
So yeah. So if you have physical health issues,
Yeah.
that can really impact upon your mental well-being. So I've had to substitute some of the things I'd normally do, like going for a long walk, to have more like meditation sessions, because I can't move about so much. So it does have an impact. I think we need to go into. I've got one person joining us at the minute. So I think if it's okay, we'll go into the mindfulness session. As part of this session, we're going to focus on the fact that later in the month it is Mental Health Awareness Week with the theme of anxiety. So sessions during the course of May will focus on that. Before I start the session properly, I'm just going to ask people, obviously just make sure that people are comfortable and hopefully avoiding any distractions. But just take a moment to think of just one thing, either today or during the course of this week that you're really grateful for. So just take a moment to pause and reflect on one thing. It could be very small or it could be a big thing that you're really grateful for. Okay, and now to prepare ourselves for the session, which will take about 10 minutes. If there are pauses, then there are deliberate pauses, so don't be worried about silence. It's a moment for you to take time for yourself. But we will start. And just taking a moment to get yourself into a comfortable position, sort of nice and straight, proud, upright posture. And just settling into position, closing your eyes if it's comfortable, or lower your gaze with a straight spine, and just allow some ease of breathing. And as you begin this practice just treating it like an experiment, just staying curious to whatever you notice, and taking a couple of deep breaths, just breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. A couple more deep breaths, just allowing your body to release and soften with the out breath, and just settling into being here. And now practicing grounding your mind with a mindful check-in, getting a sense of where you're starting from in this moment. Just feeling into any sensations that are there. If there's any sensations of stress, restlessness or anxiety. And knowing that even an anxious feeling is just a sensation. Being aware if there's any tension, tightness. Just being aware of holding any tensions in your body. And with this awareness, letting these areas in your body release a little. Just breathing in, acknowledging the feeling. Breathing out and releasing. And just imagining it flowing right out. And if for any reason you're not able to ease these areas, just seeing if you can soften the areas around them. It's all okay, even if you can't soften the tense areas. Right now, just the process of naming, of being aware, is what matters. Just resting the need to do anything else than just being here. I'm taking a moment to check in with what's here emotionally. If it's anxiousness, agitation, or restlessness, just naming it in your mind and sensing where you notice it in your body. And if actually you're calm or at ease, you can just name that as well. Just playing with naming the feeling that's there, and just let it be. And also being aware of the quality of your attention. Just notice if your mind is busy, or cluttered, or distracted, or if it feels like it's settling in. Either way, it's okay. Just right now, we're just checking in to see where we're starting from with your body, your emotions, and your mind. And now the key to releasing the energy of anxiety revolves around the breath. If you can learn how to breathe, you can learn how to relax, release, and create confidence with difficult emotions. And as you're breathing, just allow your body to breathe normally, naturally, not imposing any way of breathing, allowing your respiration to settle into a natural rhythm, whether that's long or short, deep or shallow, just letting it be. Just allowing every out breath to be an opportunity to relax more deeply into your body. And as we continue to practice, it's easy for the mind to wander, thinking about this or worrying about that, be a memory or a dream. When you notice that wandering, just start by softening your body, very gently guiding yourself back, breathing in, breathing out, releasing your mental activity and any tension with every exhale. I'm going to leave you alone for a little longer here, just whenever your mind goes off, and just notice that. Just taking a deep breath, releasing with the exhale, softening your body, and begin again. Just releasing with every exhale. And in a moment we'll bring this practice to a close. Just being aware of how you're feeling right now. If you're noticing some releasing of anxiousness or restlessness, or any release of energy, just enjoy that moment. If any anxious energy is still around, ask yourself what you are needing right now, and continue from there. Just remember, this is a practice unlike any other practice. It can take some time to feel comfortable with it. But most importantly, just taking this moment to acknowledge yourself for taking this time out of your daily busyness, simply for your own health and well-being. This is an act of self-care. So thank you for taking this time out.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. So, that was, I think about 10 minutes of a mindfulness meditation focused on self-care, basically. So that's one of the things that I do in relation to looking after my mental well-being, is taking a bit of time out. This was 10 minutes. It could be 3 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be like an hour, but it's just allowing some time out to stop worrying about things that have happened in the past or the things that might happen in the future, but a way of just focusing on what's going on for me right now, and just appreciating it in a non-judgmental way. So that's one of the things that I do. What other tips do I have? I used to like running, and when I started running, I thought I was running just to lose weight. But actually I realized that one of the things I liked most about running was that I was able to just get rid of stress, and just to have time alone just to deal with stress. Who next? Elmay?
Creating something. So it could be drawing or creating some music or learning a piece of music that you like. Just something that you can focus on completely and not think about anything else. So you could I think April, you said earlier that colouring.
Yeah,
is
the
good.
colour,
Yeah.
yes.
Because you only think about the colours that you're using, you're not thinking about anything
Nice.
else. Yeah, that's really good.
So you're just completely absorbed
Yeah,
in that.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Drawing
good.
technique.
Yeah,
Pardon?
Julian, you're like,
My drawing technique.
Nice.
You're an artist, are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I like drawing. It's good. Because I drawed the warehouse to get home yesterday. And the way I do it, I just concentrate on one thing to my drawing.
Do you find it relaxing then?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very
Oh,
relaxing.
nice.
Because when you draw, because you think what to do,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you manage it, take your time, don't rush, and the colour thing was nice. So I could,
It needs a lot of concentration.
like I did with the bear, that
Yeah.
was concentration.
That was amazing. Yeah,
You seen it, right?
yeah, incredible, incredible.
And then another tip is going into nature, because if you're in nature, you can just look around and feel awe and kind of see beautiful things.
Yeah.
It makes you calmer and listen to the birds or watch some animals.
Listen, you see the
So every morning
Wildlife.
the birds make me happy.
Wildlife.
Oh my God.
the wildlife and see
Makes
the
me
animals, the cow, the hippos, the lion, the tiger, and all that. Nature is good.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Have nature around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuddle my cat.
Yes. You got a cat in it. You got a
Fluffy.
cat, yeah.
So yes. That's really good.
So yeah, so lots of people have pets.
Yeah.
And that's a good way of.
Pets. Having your own pet is so cute.
Not so sure about cats, but yeah, you go.
Cats are alright. Now,
They're
they're lovely.
pets.
When they're kittens, they're alright.
Yeah.
They're kittens and they grow up, don't they? So, yeah. They're nice.
There's just more of cat when they grow up. That's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah.
Lots of people have pets, and that gives them real comfort and look after it and keep them company and good for mental health.
See, we don't own a cat, but a cat owns us. It comes around. They come around all
Really?
the time on the
Okay.
fence, and
I was looking earlier so you can get apps or you could just like YouTube sort of
Yeah.
like signs of nature, and even if you can't get out in nature, you sort of if you play bird song or signs of nature like the water,
yeah.
it's quite nice.
And then when she did cats, they're so beautiful, them
Oh,
cats.
no.
You know, the pattern and everything. So,
Yeah.
quality. Yeah.
Nice. That's very good. So, anything else then?
Can't think. Well, I know that physical exercise definitely helps. I'm just really bad at doing it, so I need to do more.
Time. We need to. So we can get ourselves into really bad or really good habits when it comes to our lifestyle. So if we have good, healthy habits, then it can help with. But that's not straightforward. April, what's your top tips?
Probably colouring, going out in nature for walks.
So similar to Elmi, and you're also then quite creative.
Yeah.
So you're quite alike then, aren't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So some really good top tips about how we sort of like look after ourselves, look after our mental health.
Yeah, for walks and all that. I
Yeah.
like walking.
Yeah.
I do my
Keep
drawing.
yourself healthy, and
So walking, getting out into nature, maybe some things
that's
like
why I like to go.
meditation.
Got-
That's why I like to go
Park
out
where
on
we are.
my own. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
getting
makes
out to
me
look
feel-
at. You just down the road, isn't it?
We got a lake.
Yeah, I like to go out
the park
myself.
that's there. I take a walk around, look at the ducks and all that.
Yeah.
We've got a pond and I see people
beautiful.
in these lifeboats. They got boats, people get in the boats and do stuff. Yeah.
So you just like doing a bit of people watching as
I
well.
watch them. In the Noddy Lake, they've got boats, yeah?
Yeah.
And people going on the boats and have a bit of fun in the water. Yeah.
True. And then as Esme saying, just like connecting with your friends in the community and talking to people.
Yeah, it's good.
Who's next? Let's have another question.
Julian.
Make it a good one, Julian. The wine's a little, man.
Sorry?
A tiny the wines.
Oh, yes.
Can't even see it.
God. It's my fault. Sorry. My
wine, thank you. Glasses.
Make it bigger.
What would you do if your mental health was getting poor?
Speak to my key worker. I said this psychologist, the doctor, and my family.
How would you know if your mental health is getting poor? Just like, sorry, like, just to start the question.
Yeah.
How would you know if your mental health is not as good as it should be?
I feel really low.
You feel really low,
Feel low.
depressed.
Feel low, depressed.
And you're on the own, you don't know what to do, you're suffering,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And you need to talk to someone, like a psychologist or your doctor or family or something to help you.
So I think I noticed that when I'm not sleeping so well, I sort of like wake up in the night. So your sleep might be disturbed in some way.
Yeah.
Eating, you could be either like, I think you were saying, Lisa, you might be overeating, or you might be eating less.
You don't want to eat.
I did say that, didn't I?
So like no appetite.
I like fancy this. You leave it. No.
Or you might sort of be binge eating as well. So
Binge
there could be
eating, watching
either.
TV,
It could
not
be
moving,
eating like about
you know.
10
Yeah, it's
packets
just like-
of crisps or something like.
You might be like a bit more
10
withdrawn.
packets of crisps, you eat this, and then you go through the fridge. No, you know. Yeah.
Just
And have
thinking,
fun,
so that's maybe that's the question first before you know what you do. You need to be able to recognise, or somebody, maybe somebody can tell you.
Weight as well.
You
Could
wet.
be a problem if you ain't eating.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you could
Your
be
weight, your
eating
physical
low,
health.
Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah.
any other ways you could recognise that things aren't great?
Because you could be like, you won't be talking, and somebody's saying something to you and you ain't listening or something like that.
So okay, so you
Isolation.
a bit more withdrawn,
Isolation.
Yeah.
isolated.
Your
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
confusion.
and you could be hot, dehydrated, sweating, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Or
could
angry.
be irritable.
Because your
Getting
temperature
angry,
could be
tempered.
low. Your temperature could be really low, and
Low
Really
self-esteem,
yeah,
maybe.
Sorry.
Low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem.
yeah.
yeah.
Or you get very short with people.
You just got to don't get yourself in that situation.
Well, sometimes you just can't help it, but then
Can't,
so part of it is
yeah.
just can't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't think. You
Can't
don't
concentrate
know.
or
You might
think
be
properly.
doing something silly or something like that.
So you gotta try and recognise that these things are happening for you, or maybe you know somebody in your family or your friends will say, I noticed that you don't seem yourself, or so somebody might recognise it and tell you, and then support you to like deal with it or talk about it. But if you recognise it in yourself, then how do you deal with that? What do you do?
No, then talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
To talk to
Talk
maybe
to
family, friends.
family.
So I
friends.
see a psychologist or go
Key
to
workers
these
for a
groups.
living now.
The
Well,
groups could help as
So,
well.
so, 'cause so,
Social groups.
so if it's
or
really,
something.
if you're really struggling, so some people, I
Yeah.
guess with sort of more mild issues with their mental health might be able to sort of cope with it and deal with it themselves and with their family and friends.
Yeah.
But sometimes people need more specialist support, maybe through their GP or a psychiatrist or psychologist,
Or social worker. Or,
social worker, or just accessing some talking therapy, what's called talking therapy, with a psychological
Or
therapies,
these social groups as well.
social groups as well. So groups like that could be really useful just to
Yeah.
talk through issues and
or you
challenges.
look up groups that people who's been through the same situation, and then you can
Yeah.
talk to each other about how you feel.
Absolutely, it's a really
Get
good
some
shout,
positive
Lisa.
feedback or something.
Yeah. So it's recognizing that things aren't great and then reacting to that by reaching out and then using your own self-care strategies like we've talked about. Like you're feeling low, get out into nature, get down to the park, enjoy that, take a bit of
Do
time out.
something that you enjoy.
Go
Do
for a
something you
walk.
enjoy.
You know, and you feel much
Go
better. You
out
think,
for a
hang on a minute,
walk
I've
or-
enjoyed that.
Or just like go down to a swimming pool, do a few lengths
Or
or
lose a couple of pounds.
whatever. Yeah, lose a few pounds at the
Lose a
same
few
time, a
pounds.
few calories off.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few calories and
So yeah, and then obviously whatever makes you tick, really. So for me that would be like mindfulness or having an ice bath, something like that. But
have a nice
not everybody
massage.
likes an ice bath.
Nice, go to a
No,
nice
have
spa.
a nice soak in there.
Have a nice spa. Get in a kazoozie.
Yeah, jacuzzi.
Oh,
And what did you say earlier, Lisa? Spa? You were talking about spa.
Spa.
What?
Nice,
No,
pampering.
no, the steam room.
Or treat yourself and go shopping.
No, the
That's a
steam
good
room.
therapy.
Shop,
isn't it?
shopping, but
Yeah.
Steam
retail
room.
therapy.
You go,
isn't it?
Retail
you go
therapy.
swim and then you go to the steam room.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice, man.
Wow, that's really, really nice.
So
isn't it?
those sort of things,
Yeah.
that's a really nice treat from time
it's
to
a
time,
nice
isn't it?
treat. Once in a while, just treat yourself and make you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Treat yourself.
yeah, absolutely.
Good.
How would you cope with anxiety?
How would you cope with anxiety? Oh,
Oh no, anxiety. Yeah, anxiety. Yeah.
how do you cope with anxiety? So, what is anxiety? What is that?
Esme, what's anxiety?
When you feel like when something isn't quite right, and you know that something's about to start and not good either.
So you kind of seeing in your future something that makes you feel worried, but it's a feeling. It's not something that actually is happening, right? That
Mm.
makes sense. So like a feeling of something bad coming.
Yeah.
So anxiety is, it is like you're anticipating something, or you're, anxiety is, we've been anxious, for generations, and it can be a really good thing, because if you're anxious, there's like hormonal chemical changes in the body, and it's alerting you to something that might be something that you need to respond to, and it might be that you need to. Have you heard of flight or fight? So there's flight, fright, or freeze. So when you're anxious, you're readying yourself, you're getting yourself ready, prepared for something that you expect to be a danger or a problem. So anxiety can be a good thing because it prepares us,
But there's a wall there.
but
There might be a wall
it could
that stops
be,
you. Yeah.
yeah. So it could be that if it gets overwhelming, if it becomes too much or too frequent, then it becomes a problem. But if I'm anxious because I've got a deadline at work, or I've got a meeting next week, I've got to go to this podcast thing, I could become anxious about that. But that's a good thing because then I'm preparing myself. I'm making sure I'm going to get there on time. Usually,
Yeah.
I'm going to get there on time, and I'm going to have done what I've needed
done
to
time
do.
today, now.
Yeah.
Huh?
You were done time
I was on time today.
Yeah.
So if you're anxious, it can be a positive thing because you're preparing yourself. Anxiousness allows you to prepare yourself, so you're ready and that you react to it. But sometimes, if we don't deal with anxiety well, then it becomes a problem for us. So if I was too anxious about this podcast, I might decide, oh, I'll just phone in sick. I can't be doing with it. Or I'm late and I haven't prepared myself for it. So anxiousness can have a negative effect where we use the flight. We sort of try and hide away from it, and then
Or we freeze up.
becomes
Do-
more of
don't
a
do
problem.
anything,
Yeah, freeze. Don't do anything. I'm just not going to go. I'm not going to tell anybody I'm not going. So if we use anxiety wisely, then it can be really good and productive. But it can be really impactful as well. What was the question?
How would you cope?
How would you cope?
We're
Well, for me, what I've learned to do,
Well,
it took me a long time, is, and I can't do it all the time, is face into it. So if I notice I'm anxious, then this sounds weird, but if I look at that anxiety,
You want the question read again?
that no. If I just like face into it, rather than like trying to hide from it, if I look at that anxiety and say, okay, I'm feeling anxious, and so in my body I can feel my breathing's getting a bit faster. I'm not just feeling like a bit tense or whatever. So then I can just by noticing it, I can lower. I'm thinking about my breathing. I can lower the anxiousness. That's one way I cope with that.
April, do you have any tips for coping with anxiety? No. What do you do when you're anxious?
Talk to staff.
Yeah. Talking about it is good. Yeah, if you're feeling anxious.
Yeah.
How do they help you?
They calm me down and tell me it's okay.
Okay. That's really good. Do they have any techniques for you to make you less anxious? They just say everything's going to be okay,
Yeah.
and that helps you.
Yeah.
Good. Esme, any tips for coping with anxiety?
Just tell yourself that everything's gonna be okay, and just to keep calm, even if you're not finding it like that, but just keep telling yourself it's gonna be okay. You can you can power through it.
Yeah.
Even though if you're like struggling and you don't think you can, just keep trying to tell yourself that you will get through it.
Got this journal. So some people keep a journal just to sort of like note how their day's been, and anybody keep a journal?
I used to, yeah. It really does help. Write down how you're feeling and what can be done about it and stuff, and
Yeah,
you know,
it's a good way
you
just like
show it to people and say, look, this is what I've written. You've got to listen to me right this minute and let me explain how I feel it.
yeah, just by writing it down can be really helpful, and then thinking
And you
about
look at it,
how you coped.
and you think, oh my God, was that me? And you think, okay, I'm gonna have to change this around now and think positive, and you know, it goes over and over and over again in your mind. It's like a tape recorder, and say, look, why did I do that? You know, yeah.
Just on this journal here, it's an anxiety journal. Just there's
Yeah,
like
just read that.
big page. There's one
Yeah.
sentence here.
Yeah.
I really like it. So it's by John Kabat-Zinn, who sort of like does a lot of work around mindfulness. So he said, your anxiety and fears are not you, and they do not have to rule your life. So anxiety and fears are not you. So don't let them rule your life. Like if you think about anxious feelings, they're there and then they go. So it can be momentary, but you can let it rule your
If
life.
it's still
if you
there,
really,
just look at it and think, okay, we can do that. Yeah, but we
But
go
yeah.
for it.
So I just read, but I didn't read it, but I just noticed there was something about, like in today's age, one of the things that can cause a lot of problems, obviously a lot of positives as well, is social media and or like our phones, and if we're constantly looking at like Facebook or Twitter or whatever, it can have some positives. You can sort of see what your friends are up to, but it can feed lots of anxiety as well, especially if with people saying lots of negative stuff on social media.
They do.
Like, have a prayer.
But if you get like an animal book or
That's
something and
what
read
I would
that,
do.
it makes you think,
If I'm
doesn't it?
pressed decision, I'll take myself, have a prayer, close my eyes for an hour, and then I'm calm.
I like that. Like that.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Because we all go for a walk, take us to something for a while, and just relax.
Really nice.
Yeah.
That's a really good tip there. Thanks, Julia.
Yeah.
Cool. Are we?
Who's next? There's two
So
more.
I think it's
more?
April.
There's two more there.
Let's go.
April. Let's go, April.
Yeah,
This is your first time, April, isn't it?
yeah, that's what it.
It's great for you to join us.
So how does your te- team support you when mental health and well-being?
So how does your support team help you with your mental health and well-being?
Sometimes I go for a walk with them, or sometimes I go for a walk by myself at events. Depends on the day itself.
So, I think you said earlier that you talk to the team.
Yeah,
on the days,
children
right?
staff, support staff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Esme, how does your support team help with your mental well-being?
They, not often, but they do sit with me and they do try to talk things out, because lately they have been noticing that I've been coping with
Cool.
not great moods and that.
Okay.
They know instantly, and then they just sit and chat to me.
So they're very good at recognising when you're not doing well.
They can
Hmm.
see the signs,
Mhm.
even without me saying.
That's really good. That means they know you really well.
So I've been a hell of a lot quieter than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 2 months now.
So then your team sit down with you and have a chat, or do you do something together?
Mostly just talk it out over a coffee. And maybe write some stuff down. Then I'll just throw in my folder for me to look on and think.
You have a folder where you write things down?
Well, not yet. It's just like papers stacked up. I've got like 10 already, with loads of information that I've like said and that.
Mm.
With all what's going on with me and that.
So does writing it down help you?
A little, yeah.
Mm. That's
Not
good.
loads, but a little bit, yeah.
That's good. And the way it feels as well, like when you have anxiety or poor mental health, it feels like you're stuck there forever, and that's why it feels like these little things help you a little. But actually, if you keep doing them, those little things stack up, and you'll feel better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to keep doing it. And how does your team support you, Julian?
My team's supposed to work very well.
Mm-hmm.
Just the lovely people, my staff, and they're really good, you know. But I love the team who support me. If my Kiraka, she's lovely, my Kiraka Patsy. She's one of my Kiraka, she supports me for this, we go out and that, and
It's great.
very good, because that's what Kirakas do, they take their key client out and to do stuff you want to do, all my staff are nice people with Cynthia, Patsy, the manager, they're all good.
Excellent. How about you, Lisa?
Oh, wow. Ever since we had our new manager, he's been my inspiration. So I'm out independently now, and things have changed where they were before, and I'm at much ease, and my team support us no matter what. Because if I'm not happy with my staff, and I go to my manager, and he sorts it out, and
That's really good.
yeah. So we've got a happy house now.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Great to hear.
Good stuff.
There's one more left.
I think we've answered that one.
Have we?
Have we?
Have we?
Michael
So-
interjected one of the questions.
Did I? Okay. Okay. How can you tell if someone else might have poor mental health?
Oh, yeah, we have done
Oh
that.
yeah, we've done that one
Done.
already.
We have.
So yeah,
Done that one already.
and that's yeah, it's really important that we look out for each other, especially in this day and age, and just pick up on sometimes just like subtle signs that somebody's maybe not coping very well, and just being kind to each other.
Don't.
Really important. So, are we concluding? So, concluding by saying that we all have different ways of trying to ensure that we enjoy good mental health. We've got our own strategies, and we all enjoy a bit of a treat from time to time, bit of pampering, get nails done, get your feet done, get down the sauna.
And a massage.
So let's keep with the kindness, keep going for walks, enjoying nature, keeping in touch with friends and family and our local communities, keep getting pampered, and help each other out. And during the course of the rest of May, through the Achieve app, we'll be posting lots of different things, different tips and ideas about enjoying the best possible mental health. And then from the 15th to the 21st of May, we'll be doing lots more with a focus on anxiety and coping with anxiety. So thanks everyone, and see you at the next podcast
When will it be?
next month.
Next month, there you go.
Okay.
So thank you.